Hi guys, welcome back. Well, I've got another classic gaming review for you. If you love your arcade races, you're going to love this one. We're going to take a look at OutRun 2006 Coast to Coast on the PS2. OutRun 2006 Coast to Coast was developed by Sumu Digital and published by Sega. The directors was Paul Porter and Darren Mills. The producers was Mark Glossop and Steve Lissette. Designer Travis Ryan. Composers Hiroshi Kawaguchi and Fumio Lito. Sorry if they're wrong. Richard Jakes. It made its way to the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation Portable, PSP, Microsoft Windows and the Xbox. The original release was no surprise 2006, and this is classed as a racing game. The game is in fact the 9th title in the series, and OutRun 2006 is a reimagining of the first game. The game is split into two parts, a conversion of OutRun 2 and Coast to Coast, which includes single-player races and challenging. It also boasted local network and internet multiplayer. This allowed up to 6 players to play at any one time, but unfortunately the majority of the servers got disconnected in 2009, and then the Xbox went in 2010. And that's a real shame, because I think this would have been a fantastic game to actually play online. Well, if you followed my channel now for quite a while, you already know that anything that hasn't really got a story automatically gets 8 out of 10. Right, let's take a look at this fantastic arcade racing game. Audio. Well, what can I not say about this? The music in this game has stayed the same. You are listening to a more upbeated track, but the music has not changed from the arcade machines that hit the scene back in 1986. The music, the songs are very memorable, extremely memorable. The second you hear it, if you've played OutRun and you're a lover of it, you know it's an OutRun game. It was only ever produced for OutRun, so the music is fantastic, and I really do enjoy this more uplifting beat. As for the rest of it, the special effects, the way you turn into the corners and it screeches, the way the girls screaming, yeah, come on, go faster, it all sounds brilliant. It takes me right back to the arcade days when I was 15 playing this. What a game. I love it to bits. It's getting 9 out of 10.
What fun!
Controls. Well, these are brilliant. It's a very easy, simple pick up and play game, and the thumbsticks are fantastic for this. They really are. At times you'll feel it's a little bit maybe over responsive, but believe me, it's needed. You can't go wrong with this game. It's just more or less left or right, accelerate and brake if you need to. As long as you can get that drifting right, you're going to have an absolute blast when you nail that corner just perfect. The controls are certainly not going to hold you back in any way, shape or form, and anybody of any age. It also surprisingly still keeps that arcade sort of feel with using the thumbsticks. Again, it's brilliant, it's easy. I'll give it another 9 out of 10.
Checkpoint! I want to go ahead!
Graphics. Well, these are obviously modern, they are obviously updated, but it still holds that classic arcade feel, which is just absolutely fantastic. It's got an incredible sense of depth, colour, the amount of textures, the frame rate is obviously sky high because it's very smooth, there's no slowdown whatsoever. I think the amount of colour and depth is incredible in this game. And what I really do enjoy about it is this incredible sense of speed that you've got. You really do feel as if you're hurtling down that motorway at absolute breakneck speed. It looks fantastic, it is fantastic. I've got to give it another 9 out of 10.
Rank A.
Gameplay. Well, what I really like about this, it's almost like two games rolled into one. You've got your normal OutRun, and then you've got Coast to Coast. So on the normal OutRun game, you've got different cars, varying classes ranging from novice to professional, and they obviously have increased top speeds, different handling, and it's that makes it difficult, and the difficulty level will rise with the change of cars. So you will have increased performance in all aspects, but you can also cosmetically change the vehicles now, including racing stripes, decals, renovated bodywork are also evident. Moving over to the Coast to Coast version, you've got 15 different cars. Now this is the most that has ever been seen in any OutRun game, and you've got additional vehicles like the Ferrari F430, which is a beautiful car by the way. You've also got like in-game missions to complete as well, like racing rivals for the top spot, or your passenger at the side, she'll want you to do something like overtake them all or drift past them or speed up behind them, and you'll gain points by doing what she wants you to do. But you have also got 4 extra modes. You've also got Test Your Drift, which is a one-on-one race with the objective of accumulating points by drifting through the bends. Test Your Slipstream. The player must drive behind traffic vehicles to collect points and beat rivals. Avoid the Knockout. It's an elimination race. The last place car at the end of each stage is automatically ejected from the challenge. And the last one is Do Not Lose Your Girlfriend. This is another one-to-one duel, but here you must stay ahead of the rival couple until the heart points reach 0. When you first start the game, you have got limited vehicle and music selection, but ramp up those points, you'll unlock more vehicles, you'll be able to boost them up, and you'll be able to unlock more sounds. The only downside with this game is if you are not a lover of arcade style racing games, you're going to find this maybe a little bit monotonous, and it is what it is. You are racing, you've got a varied amount of tracks, you can take an easy route, you can take a difficult route, the choice is yours, but I do understand that some people this is not for them. With all that being said, for gameplay I'm going to give it 8 out of 10.
Hit the cars! Let's start! That was good! Keep passing cars! Let's start!
Overall, if you are a lover of arcade style racing games, then if you haven't already got a copy of this, I want to know why. It is a brilliant game to play. You just switch it on and start having a blast. I do get it, it's not for everyone, because if you're into your more realistic driving simulations, this is not the game for you. This is just a fun arcade playing game. And if I look at the box for a minute, haven't played OutRun, you haven't lived, and that's true. This game has been going since 1986. It was fantastic on the arcades then, and it is brilliant on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox now, and it is a game you must at least try. Overall, it's getting 8.6 out of 10.
Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! Sonic speed! Don't crash! Let's start! You rock!
Well, that's OutRun 2006 Coast to Coast. I feel like I'm showing my age a little bit with this one, you know, going all the way back to 1986, me being 15 at the time. But this was such a great game to play at the arcades, and you just get to relive those moments. So certainly, if that's your era, you're going to just love this game. Failing that, it is just a fantastic arcade driving game, and it is a real must. I really do recommend this game. If you've never even tried it, where the hell have you been? The only problem with this game is it will not work on a PlayStation 3. Now if you've got a backward capable one, and that's how a lot of us like to game it because it's automatically got HDMI out, this game will not work. I've actually got 2 copies of this because I thought it was the game that wasn't working. I thought it was that was at fault. I eventually cracked open my PS2 and the game works perfectly fine. So just bear that in mind, that if you haven't got a PS2, maybe not get the game, but if you are thinking of collecting for the PlayStation 2, this is an absolute must. Well, Christmas is also just around the corner. I have got a Christmas episode with it being on a Tuesday, so watch out for that if you've got some spare time Christmas Day. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'd like to thank you for subscribing, and please consider giving me a thumbs up. It really helps. Thanks again, and take care.